Esse é um texto em inglês escrito pelo Doutor FLÁVIO GIKOVATE. Está no site dele, né? flaviogikovate.com.br, para treinar um pouco o inglês. Not everything that seems logical is true. Foi escrito dia 29 de agosto de 2012 por Flávio Gikovate. If your brain has no space to admit new facts that disturb our logic, we shall stop thinking in an original pattern or be unable to perceive novelty. Sometimes I believe that one of the reasons for which things do not occur according to our tools is because our train of thinking follows mistake patterns. Besides, it is a red and error to suppose that things will happen according to what we think. Thinking is a process more disconnected from the reality than we usually believe. To think may perhaps be our attempts to guess at reality. That is subject to various errors and dangerous error, especially when we become very self-sufficient in our inner processes and stop to confront them with factual reality. While correcting facts, they may present an absolutely logical sequence. When one says that a young man became a homosexual because he began to reject women for having had an extremely authoritative and dominating mother and a passive and submissive father one he did not admire. It represents a beautiful explanation that agrees with the logic of our psychological thought process, but it is necessary to verify if it is true. The fact that it is a beautiful and logical explanation does not guarantee that it is a fact. There are many homosexuals who did not have this type of mother or father. On the other hand, many heterosexuals had very castrating mothers. Therefore, it is dangerous to reach a conclusion simple based on the inner coherence of choice, without taking real facts into account. Intelligent individuals have a tendency from infancy on to develop and to sophisticate logical thinking, and to seek coherence between their truths. They become fascinated by this jigsaw puzzle, this game of story, organizing and creating ideals and factors. It is a praising word, attitude, and serves their intelligence and critical sense immensely. The terrible thing is that the position themselves in face of new facts with the following attitude. This is true because it agrees with the logical data stored in my brain that is false orally because it does not match the logical that emerged in my brain. This is more serious than one mere thing, because that people are interested to reject every new fact that goes now not measure of two already cataloged ones. What is the result of that? Their reasoning system closes up. From that point on, there is no longer any possibility for import new improvements. Such an individual, while sometimes still very young, has already become old because he is intractable to novelty. To be young in spirit means to keep enveloping me, and that is equal to be eager in paying attention to things that are not logical, that is, to facts that are not in agreement with what we already know. A personal experience definitively imprinted my life and my way of thinking. I was approximately years of age, and during my holidays in a watering resort witnessed some experiences with telepathy that perplexed and confused me. However, I had no doubts that the phenomenon really existed. Returned to the St. Paul, I discussed it with my father. He was a great doctor, very learned and respected by all those we know him. I told him it does for a fact. I witnessed it and took every precaution to verify that is not a trick, representing a very categorical and definitive manner. That is not so. It is obvious that therapy does not exist, meaning that what did not fit into his logical system could not exist. Turing logic was more important than reality. If reality did not combine with his thought about life, too well with reality. E por aí adiante.